Okay. Hi, my name is Joe Soto, and I own a social media marketing agency called Revenue Inbound based in the Washington, D.C. metro area. And over the last 4 years, we've really helped over 300 clients use social media and social media marketing to grow their business. And in the last 12 months or so, I've really focused on helping local small businesses. And I know that one of the reasons why you're watching this is you've decided to start your own social media marketing agency, and maybe you don't know where to start with getting your client results. We've taken on all kinds of different types of businesses, which tells you what's possible. We've helped speakers and authors, some New York Times best-selling speakers and authors, have success using social media. We've helped pharmacies and auto dealerships and bars and restaurants and everything in between. But in the last 12 months or so, in helping restaurants and helping some other small business owners have success using social media, have really unlocked some key principles and strategies that can help move the needle, which is in essence helping them get more sales, which is why they're going to pay you to help them. And the more you help, the easier it is to get clients. And so my focus in this particular session is to show you specifically how to use Facebook advertising to get results, because for some clients it's about all you need. But to really get them to the next level, you're going to have to learn other things. So let's start with figuring out what it is your clients want. And I think really people need to figure this out before they even start selling to clients, because if you understand this truly, then you can talk to it when you meet with your client prospects, and your team will be, and you will be focused on this going forward. And I learned this lesson once because I was sitting around a round table or in a conference room similar to this, where I had my entire team take out a piece of paper, and I asked them, I said, what is the number one thing that your client wants? And if you only had to write one thing, what's the number one thing they want? And they all wrote down different things. And we went around the room and they all gave me different answers. One person said they want more likes on their Facebook page. They want more followers on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. And another person said, no, our clients really want more engagement. They want to see that their community online is engaged with their business and brand. And another person said, no, what they want is they want to become famous. They want to become popular. They want to be the authority in their niche, or whatever it might be. And as we went around a room, everyone had different answers, or similar to the ones I just gave you. And so I had them stop, and I said, everyone take that piece of paper and throw it away, and take out a new piece of paper and write this down. Your clients want sales. They want increased revenue. They want to grow their business. That's it. It's results. And if we don't focus on how we move the needle to increase our clients' sales and to grow it, then we're going to lose the clients. And that was really when we started becoming more obsessed with getting results for these businesses, and particularly my obsession, which was it's about all that matters. I'd rather have, and you tell me, I'd rather have a Facebook page that has 200 likes that the business is growing in sales every month than a Facebook page that has 20,000 likes where the business is struggling every month financially. Social media really doesn't make a difference if it's not helping the business ultimately grow their sales. And so, I said, but the results can be broken down a little differently in order to get to the number one result, which is the increased sales. So for business to consumer businesses, it breaks down like this, and this will be in the handout that you can download, the PDF handout that's probably down on the same page as this video. Is that your job is to help your clients get more exposure. And then in essence, that's more word of mouth online. That's all social media is word of mouth powered by the internet. So getting them more exposure and more word of mouth spread, which then will equal more customers. And then that'll equal more revenue. And for a business to business, it's more exposure and word of mouth, so that way they can generate more leads, so that way they can convert those into more customers, which will lead to more revenues. So as long as you keep focused on what that path is to get your clients more revenues, then you'll be better at getting the exposure. You'll be more purposeful in your marketing efforts. You won't just post on social media for the sake of posting. You won't just post on Twitter and Instagram just for the sake of posting. You'll have a plan in mind with how do you get your client from point A to point B, which is why they hired you. And from my experience, if you take a retainer from a business, which is what I would suggest that you do, And whether that's $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month, and we have some that pay all the way up to $15,000 a month. But the small businesses, you're going to find a sweet spot between $1,000 and $2,000 a month. And I'll explain that more in a little while. If you're going to take that money, then you've got to be able to get them results. And the fastest way to get there is using social media. So keep in mind that clients will pay you for the ideas that it takes to get there, and they'll pay you for the execution of those ideas. That's all the good you are for them. They already know how to post on social media. They probably already have somebody that's posting on social media that's doing a terrible job of getting them results. I find clients all the time that are doing a really good job of posting on Facebook. They're doing a great job of tweeting. They're doing a great job on Instagram when it comes to visual and fun or nice posts. But it's not moving the needle for their business. And there's ways that you can tell that. And so I'm going to just give you the five different key factors that are going to be important for you to get these client results. So number one is you got to know your niche. And I'm going to dive in and show you an example several examples of businesses that we've helped using Facebook, but understand that we've become experts in the niches that we're serving. So you got to know your niche really well. If you're going to sell to restaurants, you better become a restaurant expert. Subscribe to all the magazines, all the online newsletters, and become an industry expert. When I started adding restaurants to our portfolio, I literally bought every book I could, every book on restaurant marketing and the restaurant business that I could. I didn't want to just understand the marketing piece. One of my favorite books was Restaurant by the Numbers, which taught me how to think like a business owner of a restaurant, which ironically, I ended up getting steak in a couple different restaurants as a result of these efforts. I became an expert. Number two is you got to focus on marketing that helps them get the result that they want, like we just talked about. Number three, you must create a digital marketing plan for your customers so that way you, and more importantly, your team, have a roadmap to execute on. It's remarkable how many of these businesses don't have any type of roadmap. They have no plan at all for marketing. And I love to ask that question when I'm prospecting a new business owner. One of my first questions I'll ask them, I ask them several questions, but one of them is, can you show me what your marketing plan looks like? And they just give you that blank stare. They look at you and go, you know, what are you talking about? I don't have a marketing plan. And I'll say, well, what's your digital marketing strategy? I don't have a digital marketing strategy. So you're running your business. You're trying to create, millions of dollars in sales, and you don't have a good strategy for getting customers. That's what you're telling me. That really makes them look bad if they're paying another social media agency to help them, who you can steal the business from because you're going to help them get real results. Next is you have to become an expert on social media marketing strategies. And when I first started my social media agency, I had had a sales training business and consultancy for the previous 10 years. I reinvented myself and started the social media agency. And I'll tell you what, I had to read every book I could on the subject. I had to go to conferences. I had to buy courses like this one, and I had to learn. And you're taking the first step in it, but this is only the first step. It's an ongoing process because every flipping month, Facebook changes something. In Instagram, and then Snapchat comes out and takes over the world, right? And you've seen it with Ty, embracing this as it changes. This is going to be true if you're going to have a successful agency that's going to last or withstand any period of time. You must become at least a specialist, if not an expert, in Facebook advertising. And it's not difficult, but it's like going back to school. You have to study it. You have to appreciate the math that's involved to optimize your campaigns so you can maximize your clients' advertising dollars. And so this was the final piece for us to get good, and I mean really good, at helping our clients to where they never would want to leave because we're helping them with putting butts in the seats if they're a restaurant, or bringing people into their store if they're a local commerce store, or getting more people to buy online if they happen to be an e-commerce business. And so let's talk about the Facebook ads that you're going to run for your clients. And I'm going to list them out here, and then I'm going to show you an example of one of these ads in real time. I'm going to do a screen share for you so you kind of look over my shoulder. But here's the different types of ads. The first type of ad that you might run for a client is what's called a like ad. Let's say you're dealing with a business that doesn't have very many likes. Facebook gives you several different objectives to choose from when you're getting ready to post an ad on Facebook. One of those objectives is to generate more likes. Again, you have to have a strategy. So you may have all different types of reasons for posting ads on Facebook, but you better have your objective in mind. And one of those is to generate more likes. And where you'll see an ad, and you've seen this in your feed before, where it has a like button, where you can just click the like button as you scroll down your feed, and it'll automatically have you like the page. Those ads work well for a restaurant that has hardly any likes, or maybe a new business that's starting anew and just getting ready to open up. Other than that, it's a fairly expensive way, if there's such a thing, to advertise on Facebook. The cost per click or the cost per like, that conversion, it's tough to get that low when you're choosing this objective. But it is, if the business has some money to spend on advertising, then this would be a good place to put it because it will generate the likes that they want. I'll show you some other ways to more creatively get likes in a moment. Photo-based ads, or what we call engagement ads. Facebook gives you an objective, and this is one of the top 3 objectives that you'll use when you're posting on Facebook. And that's the objective of getting more post engagement. Facebook post images receive more engagement than just putting text on there, and video is even better. But let's just talk about photos for a second. A photo-based ad that has very little text, that's meeting different criteria, and we were just talking about how the color yellows gets the most click-throughs on an actual ad if you want people to click through your ad or to take notice of it. And there's different dynamics you're going to learn as you become an expert in Facebook advertising. But to start with, you just have to understand that this is one of the objectives that you're going to choose quite frequently, particularly when you post on the Facebook feed for your clients, and then in the back end, in Facebook Ad Manager, you're going to help boost that post for results. And keep in mind, I sit on the back end in Ad Manager because if you're going to become an expert in Facebook advertising, you're not going to click that boost button hardly ever. I just recently wrote a blog post on why you should never use the Facebook boost button. Number one, you can't optimize it, you can't target it, you can't edit your placements. There's all kinds of reasons. Just keep in mind, make a mental note and write it down. Just don't do it. Don't hit the boost button in front of your feed. Not unless you want to remain an amateur in Facebook advertising. And also, if you want to have, if you learn the Facebook Ad Manager behind the scenes, you have more value to extend to your clients because you know something that they don't know how to do. Everyone feels like I can just press the boost button and target an area. So that doesn't differentiate you from your client and what they can just do by looking at their Facebook feed. You want to make them believe you are that great and powerful Oz that can get behind the curtains and run these ads. Number 3 is giveaways and contests, which are my favorite types of ads to run. You can't run them real frequently because that can become annoying. But when you do run them, you get massive engagement, you get the most engagement, and you can leverage contests and giveaways to get other types of results like growing someone's email list. And I'm going to give you great examples of how to do that in one of the upcoming videos where I'll show you how you can generate over 1,000 emails inside of a 3-day period with around $100 ad spend for a client, because it's totally possible. Next are video ads. Facebook Live is blowing up. If you and your clients aren't using Facebook Live, they're completely missing the boat. One of the beautiful things about Facebook Live, other than the fact that it's real time and it gets almost instantaneous engagement when you go live on Facebook, one of the best parts about Facebook Live is that when you go into the back end of the Ad Manager after your video's done and it's been archived on your feed, you can then promote that Facebook Live with the video views objective, which tends to have the lowest cost per engagement of any objective on Facebook. Lastly are what we call link page ads. These are clicks to your website ads, where you're trying to drive traffic from that Facebook ad to an external page. So maybe it's your website, maybe it's a blog post, maybe it's a landing page for a giveaway. You're trying to get them off of the Facebook page and onto another destination. And so you'll choose the objective in Facebook. And I'll show you these objectives in just a moment when I go live online. You'll choose clicks. My objective is to get more clicks to a website. So that way Facebook optimizes your ad according to what your objective is. Okay, and then lastly, all ads can be targeted. And I mean really targeted. So for example, I had a restaurant who came to me and said, you know, we offer catering, but no one orders catering from us. And I said, so you'll cater like corporate luncheons? And she said, yes, we'll cater to companies, you know, every day if we could. And I said, so why aren't you targeting the companies? And she said, we don't know how. We've gone to some of these companies and we've passed out, you know, business cards. And I said, no. We're going to create an audience set on Facebook where you can choose all the companies in the local 5-mile or 10-mile radius, however you want to do it. But in this case, it was about a 5-mile radius. We took the top 20, 30 companies in that area and made a list. And then we went on to Facebook and we targeted executive assistants and HR personnel and different employees that had job titles that typically would be the ones to book the corporate luncheons for these companies. And we targeted them by job title and by employer on Facebook. And we started to get you know, small incremental growth in catering orders that now has resulted in and played a big part in that particular restaurant in almost tripling their sales, which we were able to achieve in about in under a 4-month period. So it's very exciting what you can target on Facebook. We had a laser tag center that had laser tag, arcade, and cosmic bowling, and they also wanted people to book birthday parties at this entertainment complex. And so we targeted moms with grade school kids, moms with preschool kids in their county that on Facebook, just to drive the right audience and pinpoint the right audience with those ads. I recently had an event center who we took on as a client, and they said, you know, we need to target meeting planners, wedding planners, corporate HR that would book Christmas parties. We have a new conference center with meeting rooms and everything, and no one knows who we are, and they don't even know we exist. I said, well, we can do all that targeting on Facebook. And immediately, with a small test spend of $10, I just saw this morning, actually. I saw someone inquired and wrote in the comments, they said, where is this located? And what is the meeting space information? And I saw that we wrote a comment back on there and said something to the effect that, that we gave the email to the person who's the contact name there and said, email, her name was Judith, email Judith or call Judith, and she'll get you all the information you need on our meeting space. And oh, by the way, we're located in Sterling, Virginia. And so, you know, it's generating a lead, you know, online for a B2B, kind of a B2B business, which is they're trying to sell the corporate meeting space, but they also will do the social stuff like the weddings and so forth. And the person wrote back and said, thank you, I'm a meeting planner, and I want to know every space that's available in the county. So that's the kind of engagement you need. It's an engagement that tells the client, this person's generating real targeted interest in the comments of my Facebook posts. And that's what I want to be able to show you today. There's 3 strategies I'm going to cover with you, and this will be in the handout as well. 3 strategies to connect Facebook advertising to in-store sales. And I'm really talking about helping those local businesses. And you have to generate local sales ROI. So, for example, I don't care if it's one of our newer clients is a all-natural dog food store. They have 2 locations. They do over $2 million with the 2 locations. And, you know, they need a strategy to get more people into their store and get less people who are, you know, going maybe to Petco and some of these big national chains to buy buy pet food. And more importantly, they want to educate people who are buying regular pet food, because I found out while meeting with this client and inventorying their store a little bit, that I was killing my dog, for example. I found out that there's terrible dyes in the dog food that I'd been feeding my dog for years. And so it's like I'm giving my dog a slow death. It's awful to think about. And so it convinced me through the education that they gave me and just sharing with me why their company is as successful as it is and how it can be more, to buy organic dog food. And that's a story that needs to be told on their social media. And we need to tell it in such a way that it leads people back to their store. And don't get me wrong, I won't talk a lot about storytelling, and I won't talk a lot about the things that you already hear about out there in the mainstream about social media. Yes, you got to create stories for your client, But those stories have to have a purpose and a strategy to lead people into that store. Because we can tell that brand story all we want, but if more people don't come into that dog food store and buy more dog food, our client won't be our client for very long. Their tolerance, most clients can tolerate 2, 3, maybe 4 months worth of paying a retainer for something that doesn't work. But if you want that client to stick with you for a year or longer, then you got to produce these results. So here's the 3 strategies to connect Facebook advertising to in-stores ROI. Number 1 is you have to use Facebook offers for trackable deals. And you can do this right inside of Facebook. There's actually, when you go to do a post inside your business page, you're going to see a button next to where it says, you can add a photo and a video and publish. It says events or offers. And you click on that, you can create your own offer. And these are trackable, where people can redeem the offer. Facebook will email the person the offer once you've listed it there, and they can track that. Number 2 is you can track actions to your clients' websites to show them that you're driving traffic to their website with your Facebook and with your Twitter and with your Instagram and your YouTube videos, if you're doing YouTube for them, postings. And so that's valuable. So you can tie direct results to what you're doing for the client. Number 3, use email marketing offers, coupon codes, or password marketing. So at the end of the day, these are things you can track, right? So if I can grow an email list for my client, I can show them that that's a direct asset I've built for them. So, I had a local diner that we added 775 emails to about 2 weeks ago. It's a local diner. There's nothing fancy about it, in the middle of nowhere, Northern Virginia. And through one 3-day campaign that cost less than $100, by the way, we were able to grow their email list by another 775 people. So that's an asset that they now can take and use for email marketing the next week and the next week and thereafter. So it's an immediate result, one that they highly value. They don't really know how we did it. So they're paying us a retainer to do it for them. They're just happy with the result. Now, remember, I said, clients will pay you for more exposure and more word of mouth if it turns into more customers for their business. And so we have to then have a good email marketing strategy to, maybe send emails out for different specials that week, or maybe just, for the case of the diner, it's, educating people that they have breakfast all day, or also running some of the super promotions that we do for them, like free breakfast for a year and things like this, to get their community more involved and to continue to make them loyal to that list. And that's separate, but it is part of the agency business, particularly if you're going to be starting a social media agency. Don't just think of it as, I'm just going to learn how to post and get more buzz for my clients. There's much more involved in that. You want to post, you want to generate the buzz, you want to turn those people into customers for life, and you want to build loyalty programs in the process using social media. So those are the 3 ways you can do it. So now let's go in, and I'm going to show in real time how to post an ad on Facebook. And really, this is for anybody who's new to even Facebook. It's just a real crash course on what to do inside of Facebook. So I'm going to go inside of Ad Manager, and we're going to create an ad. We're going to choose the objective. We're going to create the ad. I'm going to show you how I do the creative and the copy. And then we're going to show you how I create the audience set, and from A to Z, and we're going to run it. And I'm going to push go. We're going to run an ad. So let's do that now. Okay. So I'm going to switch over here to, just want to make sure this is recording okay. 1 second. Yep. Okay. All right. So as you can see here, I'm actually in my Business Manager, which is just another form of Ad Manager. And I do want to talk about this, because if you're going to be managing multiple ad accounts for a client, then you're going to have to set up, because you're going to take different payment methods for every single client. In order to do that, you have to have multiple ad accounts. And so you actually go to business.facebook.com. So let me just show that first, what that looks like. So here's business.facebook.com. Actually, it's taking me, because I'm logged in, it's taking me to this. So you'll just go to business.facebook.com, and you'll see it says create your own Business Manager account. And you want to do that under your new agency name. So that way it's branded to your own agency and your business. Now, Facebook tends to only allow you to create 2 different ad accounts, which is not going to be nearly enough if you're going to be getting a lot of clients to start with. So you have to put in a special request to Facebook, and there's, and you're going to see this because it'll give you an error when you try to create multiple ad accounts. It'll say, you've reached your limit. Contact us to get your limit increased. And quite honestly, that happens within a day or two. It happened very quickly for us when we originally did that. I think it happens almost instantaneously. Facebook kind of has to approve you to have multiple ad accounts. And basically, they just want to prove that you're a real person that's going to be setting up ad accounts for a business. So here in Business Manager, which is essentially Facebook Ad Manager, you're going to set up an ad account. And to do that, you just click on Add New, and then it says Add Account. I've already set up ad accounts, so I'm not going to set one up from scratch, but that's exactly where you do it. And it's a follow a little wizard, and then you set up an ad account. Basically, just want you to name the ad account, and then it sets it up for you. And it'll have you add a payment method. So you want to get the credit card on file of your client, unless you're going to do billing, which stinks because then you have to pay for the ad up front and then bill your client in the arrears. I recommend covering with your client what your projected ad budget will be, and tell them you'll stay within, say, for example, $1,000 a month ad spend or $500 a month ad spend or whatever they can allocate to their ad budget. And then, if you've done your job and they trust you, you're good at bridging that relationship, they'll give you your credit card. They'll give you their credit card to put on file. We never have an issue with that. We've had one client in the last 12 months who has asked that we bill them in the arrears. And after we've ran ads for them over the course of a month, which we accepted because we knew that was going to lead to some other clients that they referred us to, which indeed did happen. So it was a good call. So in this case, you can see there's multiple pages and ad accounts that I'm scrolling down and showing you here as I would scroll down different businesses and ads. Let's just take the top one. It's a business called Girly Boutique, and it's a business that sells hair bows online. It's actually a home-based business, and it's doing close to $1 million a year in sales, and it's about 4 years old. It's one that works completely from home. So it's a home-based local business that does sell online. And so I'm going to show you an example of, this is an ad that's running right now. It says website clicks 6-inch. That's the name of the campaign. You can see that if I click on it and bring up the actual ad itself, this was it there. Let's stay on here. You'll see that it's active right now. So this is an ad that's running right now. It has 2,100 clicks to the ad. It's reached 143,000 people. It's getting about 28 cents a click, which is now reached, it's getting more expensive. So we're going to stop this ad and run a new one. We try to keep everything under 20 cents ideally. So this one got a little bit away from us, but it says $20 daily. You see that is our budget. So we're only putting 20 bucks a day towards this to generate thousands of dollars in sales. And so, and it says ongoing. You see the time frame. Now, I'm going to end this ad. So I'm going to click you can end it over on the left, or you can end it up here on the right. So I'm going to click campaign off. That's going to stop the ad. Now it's inactive, right? And then you'll see here it says create a similar campaign, which I'm going to do for the sake of getting this started. But all it's going to do is, wants me to create I'm going to do this completely from scratch actually. So I want to take you step by step. So I'm going to click on create an ad. So when you're inside Ad Manager, all you'll do is click on create an ad. But I did want to show you what we're doing because I'm stopping this ad to run a new one. I'm going to click on create an ad. And now it's going to pull up the objectives for the ad. I'm going to click start over. Apparently I was starting to create an ad before. So you see here it says, what's your marketing objective? Just what I was just talking about. Whether I want to boost the post, I want to promote the page, I want to reach people near the business, increase brand awareness, send people to the website. That's the website clicks. You see get video views here. The 3 most popular ones that you'll use for helping a small local business get results is boosting the posts from the back end here for engagement, because that's really about engagement. And in case you're not sure, click on the little I for information. As you can see here, it says use the page post engagement objective to boost your post. Send people to the website, using clicks to the website objective to send people to your website. Get video views, you can see here. if you've done a live video or if you want to add a video to your ad manager. So in this case, because our objective in this particular ad is to get people to this page of this online store to spend $3.99 on a hair bow. All right? So let's go back to it real quick. And I'm going to click on send people to your website. And I'm going to name the campaign 6-inch new ad hair bow. And I'm going to click continue. Now it gives me an opportunity to add my own audience and to customize an audience. And so I can create a new audience from scratch, or I can use a saved audience. And I'm going to click on use a saved audience because I want to show you how we do it. Let's see here. See where it says Girly Boutique like pages? So this is...
I'm interrupting real quick.
That's all right. It's okay. We can do that. We can do that. We can cut and come back to this part.
No, just keep it going. People like interludes. I just thought I'd say hello. Thanks for teaching everything.
Thanks for having me come in. That's okay. No, a little bit. So yeah, so what I'm going to show here is how they can actually target like pages of every other competitor that she wants to target. So what we did was we went online and we found Facebook pages, and I'm going to show you how to do this as well, particularly for businesses that have a lot of likes. This will help Ty too, because this is one little teeny little trick that I'm not sure that you'll know about, that'll help you target even more deeply than what you do right now, competitor fan pages. It depends on whether or not you guys know about infinity scores and things like that. So in this particular case, we found multiple, and you can see them here. In fact, if I click on it, I'm going to click on it just for the sake of showing you all the different ones that are going to pop up. You see all these different sites that pop up. These are Facebook pages of different competing websites. And so our goal is to hijack all the people that like those Facebook pages. Now, most people who are into Facebook advertising know that part. They know they can add pages that are popular on Facebook. What they don't know is how to get Facebook to tell you which ones you really should be targeting versus ones that you think that you should. So for example, when we were first figuring this out, I remember asking, shouldn't we be targeting, there's a website called Hairbow Galore. Shouldn't Girly Boutique, I think that was the name of their site, hairbowsgalore.com, because they have like 100,000, 200,000 or more fans on Facebook. Well, when I went and checked out Facebook's methodology for showing me this, it wasn't one of their recommended ones. And so I was delusional to think that I was going to try and find competitors inside of Facebook on my own, just guessing. So you got to take the guesswork out of it, right? You can do some guesswork because you can say, well, I'm going to list out all my competitors on Facebook, and for a local business, they have competitors too. If they're a local restaurant, believe me, they know who their top 10 or 20 restaurant competitors are. But you're going to be able to tell them who are the ones that are the most engaged that they need to be focused on, and it may not be the one with the most likes. So from this case, though, I wanted to show you what it's like to create something new, though, just so I can walk you through some of the things I just got done commenting on, like targeting employers and targeting job titles and things like this. So as I go to create new, and we're not going to do that for this particular ad, I just want to show you how you do it so you know that it's there and it's possible. You go down here to detailed targeting, and you can see that Facebook already recognizes that we're a hair bow business that we're doing an ad for here. And you see all these different like pages pop up that are interest pages, right? Like Matilda Jane clothing, which I had no idea what that was until I had a daughter, and my wife started dressing her in Matilda Jane clothing. And now I get people who comment all the time, I like your daughter's Matilda Jane. I don't know about these little boutique brands, but Facebook does and recommends them because they have 458,000 people who happen to like Matilda Jane clothing. But I'm not going to choose that in this case, although I would if I was building an audience from scratch for the bow business. But what most people don't do is they don't click on browse. So they click on browse to the right here, as you can see here on the screen share. And then click on demographics. And then let's scroll down and then click on work. And then you see employers. And then you can, what's a big employer nearby here, guys? Ty, give me a big employer that's within 5 miles of here. Who's a big company? Give me a Fortune 500.
Yeah, IAC, Tinder.
Tinder's is here. Are they big? Tinder won't be listed as a company though.
How about let's do
like a
Universal.
Like a company.
No, I would do Universal. Universal, Sony,
Yeah, so
NBC.
here you go. So here's Universal Studios, and 37,000 people work there. The problem with Tinder is it only showed 11 people that work there.
Right.
So big business, small employee count, right? So if I'm a business, let's say I'm a restaurant, and I need more people to come to my restaurant for lunch, and I go, flipping A, Universal's right down the road. I had this exact scenario happen to me in Minnesota. I was with a bar and tap room and restaurant that seats 450 people called Tamarack Tap Room in Woodbury, Minnesota. If you go look at their page, you'll see they now have like 11,000 fans. When I started helping them, they had about 4,000 likes or fans, which is insignificant, but it doesn't matter because what mattered was they were only doing $72,000 a week in sales. And I knew that in their honeymoon period, they'd hit 100 when they first opened. So I said, so I know it's possible. So I know there's enough people, it's in a highly populated area. It's an old Champs restaurant. Remember Champs? And so that all closed down, right? If only I was there in time for Champs. But so I said to them, I said, my goal is to get you to $100,000 a week in sales from 72,000. But first, we're going to cut out everything that you're spending on marketing that isn't working, including magazine advertising. I swear to God, that's what they were doing. So we cut all that out, and we started anew. And I said, tell me some companies that are nearby. Like you see here, Universal pulls up 34,000 people on the screen share. And they said, well, 3M is in St. Paul, and that's like not even 10 minutes from here. And we're not getting anybody from 3M into our restaurant. And we should be. We should be getting them for happy hour. I said, well, then let's launch a 3M happy hour. They said, well, how do you do that? I said, well, we'll launch an ad that only runs, and we'll only run the ad. And now Facebook forces you to run an ad for at least 24 hours, but that doesn't mean you can't stop or pause an ad after 6. I said, we'll run the ad early in the morning, 7 a.m., and we'll run it to 3 p.m. in the afternoon, just to employees of 3M. And we'll run a promotion that says, in some states you can't do alcohol promotions, so I'll just add that caveat. But in Minnesota you can do alcohol promotions, and we did 3M happy hour, and we gave them a special on just if they could bring in their badge or a business card that proved that they worked from 3M. And we're only going to have the ads show up on the feeds of people who work at 3M. They got crushed for happy hour that week for this promotion that we ran then for like 4 days in a row. In a good way. That was November of last year, of 2015. They are now over $100,000 a week in sales pretty consistently. And we can even deep dive and I can actually show the numbers. Or what I'll do is I'll do screenshots and put it in the handout, which would be great to see starting dates to end to show how a restaurant can go from $72,000 to $100,000 in sales with just Facebook advertising. Because they learned how to target new groups and new demographics in addition to what their competition was doing, which was what most people think they should do, which is I'll just target a radius around me and hope that that's enough to build new awareness to get people in. And while sometimes that's a good start, you're going to have to get creative for your clients, because what works at the beginning of a lot of these campaigns won't work forever, because you'll saturate your own success a little bit and you'll have to start getting creative for what you do for them. Whether it's a restaurant or a dog food store or a hair salon, you're going to have to get creative. But this shows you exactly how I would create and target an employer. And then I can go back to browse demographics, and I can go down here and do work, and I can click on job titles. And let's say that I go, well, no, Joe, I just want to target a company, and I want to target all the executive assistants that work there, administrative assistants, and I could type in administrative assistant for area companies that work around me, and HR personnel, because I want to target people that make decisions for corporate luncheons. That's how you do it. And so I'm showing you right here. So it's the browse button and then go through, and you're going to be surprised what pops up. It's hyper targeting, and there's no other advertising platform in the world that can do this for a national business or for a local business. And everything else is fairly self-explanatory. Age, just go to your Facebook Insights and it'll give you what your average age of your fans that like your Facebook. I use Sprout Social to give me more detailed analytics for my clients, and it also gives me some really fancy reporting that I can brand to myself as an agency that my client thinks I went out of my way to create for them, that I send to them every month. But Facebook also gives you some really good reporting and metrics to help you understand what age ranges you should be targeting. Because if 70% of your fan base tends to be between 35 and 50, stop targeting the young millennials because perhaps they're just not attracted to your business, especially if you've run some test ads and not seen success from it. So in this case, I'm going to use a saved audience because as you can see down here below, you can click saved audience and then save a new one once you've got the targeting information all set up and selected. In this case, we already have one set up, and it's called Girly Boutique Like Pages, which gives us about a 3.1 million size of group that we're targeting to buy hair bows. And it's a very targeted group because these are all fans that Facebook has told me are going to be likely to be fans of our page and of our products as well. So I'm going to choose it. But I'm going to back up for a minute because I did mention that there was a kind of a sneaky way to be able to get Facebook to tell you where these pages come from. So if I go up here to Ad Manager and I click on Audience Insights, which it gives you two locations. Facebook hasn't figured out their user experience very well. I'm going to actually open up a different page because it's going to make me it's going to make me cancel that ad. So I'm opening up another window. I'm going to click on Facebook Insights. And this is one of the most overlooked things in Facebook advertising right here. So I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to click everyone on Facebook. And now you can see here, I can click people connected to my page. So in this case, I'm going to pick my page out, which is Girly Boutique, which is a page that I'm an admin of. So it's got to be a page that you're an admin of. And then you can see up all these crazy demographics, right? So I can see that the age range, our top age range is 25 to 34. I can see that it's 100% female dominated because I guess females are the only ones buying hair bows. You can see their lifestyle and you see all these fancy things. But if I click on page likes, you're going to see now where it gives me top categories, and then down below it says page likes, and it says Facebook pages that are likely to be relevant to your audience based on Facebook page likes. Now, for your clients that have a lot of fans, this is where this comes into play because they don't know how to do this. Most social media marketers don't know how to do this. Most Facebook advertising people don't know how to do this. So you click down here and it gives you what's called an affinity score. And so if you see here, it says the audience, 17,000 people like the Sisters Boutique. And that this audience is 44.8 times as likely to like this as all other Facebook pages. And meaning you. So they have 90,000 fans on Facebook and 17,000 of them are also Girly Boutique's fans. Girly Boutique has a total of like 80,000 fans. So 17,000 of their 90,000 fans already like Girly Boutique, which is telling Facebook that it should get a high affinity score of people who are similar audience. And so it's giving me all these. Now, if I click see more, and by the way, I've spoken with my own Facebook advertising manager at facebook.com. It took me several years to be able to get assigned my own Facebook manager who reviews accounts with me. And he's the one that taught me and told me that an affinity score of anything over 25 times is fantastic and it's ripe for targeting. So you see these are 40 times, 63 times, 28 times, 41 times. As I scroll down, look how many there are. Look how many Facebook pages, and look how many fans some of these pages have. 30,000 fans, 62,000 fans, 44. There's like, I can't believe how many girly Facebook pages there are that have tens of thousands of fans on all of them, which gave us a ripe audience to be able to choose from. So that's where these, and I'm going to highlight them all right here, came from, is we took the top, like, as you can see here, like 50 of them, and we created an audience set that now creates and produces thousands of dollars in sales once we run these ads correctly. So now the next section is placements. So I've picked my target. I've created my audience. That's step one. Step two then is you have to edit your placements. And you can see here, automatic placements are recommended. Don't do it. Facebook is basically saying, hey, we want you to be successful, and so we have some automatic placements for you. But then they get to optimize how they want to optimize, and they don't always give you the best results. Don't ever choose it. Choose edit placements. Because in this case, particularly since we're sending on this particular ad, we're gonna do it separate on Instagram. I might run a separate Instagram ad with Instagram advertising and send people to the website. But I know that the way that we're going to write this ad out for Facebook, it's going to have the link inside the text copy, which is not clickable on Instagram. So in this case, I'm going to uncheck Instagram. And don't get me wrong, she has a lot of Instagram marketing, which is separate, but right now we're concentrating on just Facebook advertising. And I'm also going to take it off the right column. We've found that the conversion rate of the mobile and the desktop feed is much higher. In fact, we're finding that her conversions and her sales are happening more on the mobile than the desktop, and we're really getting close to wanting to disable it from desktop altogether and make it just mobile. These women who shop on this particular site tend to shop with their mobile phone. But I'm going to leave it on the mobile and desktop feed, and I'm going to scroll down, and you can get really hyper targeting and to see, you know, just do more people on Apple buy or more people on Androids buy. You can add specific devices and operating systems, but for now, let's just keep it like this. I'm going to leave the daily budget at $20 a day, but you can run your ad to be continuously or just do it with a one-day period. If you clicked set and start a date, it'll have you pick a date range. You have to pick at least 24 hours, which doesn't mean you'll run it for the 24 hours if you just want to run an ad partly for a day, which I don't necessarily recommend that often. But if you are going to run a shorter ad and you don't want to run it continuously, this is where you choose it and you make that difference. So in this case, this client says, hey, I'll spend $20 a day on advertising because I know that $140 per week results in thousands of dollars in sales, which is the case for this particular business. I'm going to optimize it for link clicks because we've set the objective for getting people to click to the website. I'm going to keep scrolling down the ad set name. I'm going to change this to Girly Boutique 6-inch, and forgive me, I'm going to put the color Red Bow. I'm going to call it Red Bow ad set. I'm going to click continue. You can name it whatever you want for your own tracking purposes. And then you'll see here, it says use existing post or create a new one. And this is if you want to advertise a post that's already been posted on your feed and you want to then make it an ad, which is how you're going to do it for a lot of your businesses. But in this case, we're going to run an ad separate from that. And this is going to be an ad that's only going to run on the targeted audiences that you saw. It's not even going to show up on the feed, on the actual Facebook feed for Girly Boutique. I'm going to do a single image. I would recommend testing the carousel, testing videos and testing slideshows, but for this particular client, I happen to know that in running some of those tests, a single image tends to perform best. I have a belief that when you have carousel ads, you're giving people too much to do inside of the ad set versus just getting them to do one objective, which is just click my flipping link and get to my website to maybe make a decision to purchase. And then we got to upload an image. And how do you make an image? So I'm going to add the image in a second. So as an agency, you need to have an efficient way to make images. And so I recommend canva.com because Canva also now has an app on your iPhone. You can make perfectly sized images for social media on your phone now. You don't have to use a fancy program like Photoshop or something like that. Make it easy with your team, and you can go to canva.com. You can set up a free account on Canva for a small amount per year, like $100 a year. You can have an upgraded Canva, which allows you to add different team members that have access to all of the same Canva. So you don't have to give out the password and username to one account to everybody. But you'll see here, it says create a design. And it says Facebook post, Instagram post, Twitter post, blog title, Facebook ad, business cards. I mean, you name it, Google Plus photos. It has all the right dimensions already built out for you. Certificates, and I had a restaurant client of mine who didn't have gift cards or gift certificates, but yet we wanted to give away gift certificates. So we designed it for them right here on Canva. And these are all template based and they're beautiful. So as you can see here, if I clicked on Facebook post, it immediately pulls up the right size and dimension. It actually gives you some layouts that you can go and you could take and change out and switch. But I recommend learning how to use Canva, and it doesn't take very long. If you Google Canva tutorials, there are plenty of tutorials. Even Canva has their own free design school where they'll teach you all different creative ways to build your Facebook posts. But it really isn't difficult. You can, let's say it's you're doing a Wine Wednesday post for a restaurant that is advertising for Wine Wednesday. And I type in the word wine. And you can see here that, all kinds of pictures with wine pop up, right? And let's say I pick one like this. This is kind of an ugly one to pick, but I'm going to pick it anyway. You just grab and resize it. And then you can go over here to text and you can add your own text. And I can all cap it and go wine, Wednesday, and bring it up. Canva makes their money because if you use one of their images, which I don't recommend, I recommend using the images that your clients give you. And if your client doesn't have a lot of images, get a relationship with a local photographer that is an up-and-coming one, maybe one that's still in school. Go on to Craigslist and advertise for a newer photographer who wants to build their portfolio, and you'll get them small instant gigs because your clients are going to need photography. I have 2 different photographers right now that work for our agency on contract for our clients. I don't pay them $1. I just help them get gigs. And for $500, they'll go in and shoot a menu. And they'll give me pictures of the menu items. For $500, they'll go in and take pictures of the staff at a salon and the interior of a salon and exterior. Why would they do it for $500 for pennies? Because they're trying to build their photography portfolio. And you're going to help them do it by giving them clients and still giving them some money as well. And telling them, you're not giving them services away for free. So get good photos. But if Canva makes their money, because if you use one of their stock photos, then they will charge you for it. And they charge you $1 per photo for a download. So as soon as I go to click download a PNG file, it's going to prompt me to pay for this image if I want to use this. Now you might throw in your client's logo down here. There might be all kinds of things you can do. I'm going to show you lots of different examples of posts, and you can see that all of those posts I show you, every one of them, was created inside of Canva. Now in preparation for the screen share, I went ahead and created an ad for Girly Boutique that looked like this, of the red hair bow. The highlight is the hair bow, obviously. In this particular case, there's thousands of pictures to choose from, and we tried to test different images. And so this morning I get an email to try this one. So I've already downloaded this, but you can see this is how I prepared it inside of Canva. Now I'm going to go back to Ad Manager, single image, and I'm going to grab the ad. There we go. Luckily, Ty has high-speed internet, so everything's going fast. Okay, so now the ad pops up. Now, I used the Facebook ad dimensions that were inside Canva. It's telling me to make it 1200 by 628. So I can view it down here to see if it still looks good. So I'm scrolling up and down. I'm going to go and click on mobile so I can see if it shows up good on mobile, and it does. So I'm going to leave it alone. The dimensions, they seem to work well. Based on what Canva suggested versus what Facebook did. But normally, you want to stick to the dimensions that they give you. I've just done this enough to know that when it's you'll know by whether or not it's cropping out the part of the image that you don't want it to be cropping out. So in this case, I'm going to select the page that I'm doing this for, which is Girly Boutique, because I'm inside of the Ad Manager. If you look in the upper left-hand corner, it's assigned to the Girly Boutique ad account because that's tied to their credit card payment. So that way I'm billing the right source. I'm concentrating on Facebook. If I was also advertising on Instagram, the Instagram button would show up here. And now I need to find the right URL. So I'm going to go over here to the page. I'm going to grab the URL that I want to send them to, the link, and I'm going to add it in. So that populates too. And then here's the headline, which is Jumbo XL Hair Bow 6-inch. Now it's pulling that from, and why isn't this pulling down? I don't know why that's happening. Hang on. It's pulling that from, I somehow have the audience network chosen. I'm going to click back, and under Edit Placements, I didn't uncheck Audience Network. Now, sometimes you might want to test this, but this is, sometimes you'll see ads that are on random websites that actually are tied into Facebook's Audience Network. I need to take that off and then go back. So, real-time errors you can learn from as well. Okay, so now I'm back here, and now this is our chance to do the copy. So, what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to go take, because we're running a very similar ad, we're just testing a different picture and bow as what we did before, and I'm going to grab some of the copy from the previous one, but I'm going to use a little bit different. I'll show you here in a second. High-speed internet. This was the ad. So this is the one that's now inactive that I was showing you. And I'm going to click on See Post because I'm going to steal some of the copy. So this is what that post looked like when it showed up in somebody's feed from the previous ad. We're basically duplicating this particular ad with a different picture to test a different picture, and I'm going to use a different testimonial as well. Other than that, I'm going to use the same copy for the sake of time on the video here. As you can see here, though, this particular ad has reached over 200,000 people at $20 a day. Total ad spend was just over $500, and it's been running for, I don't know, over a month now. So I'm going to go ahead and take some of this ad copy. Just click me to the actual. I guess the links work. It won't let me take it off of there because it won't let me cut and paste without clicking it. But I'm going to take the same copy. So Jumbo XL. Okay. So Jumbo XL Haribo 6-inch. This is why I have my team do it. High quality and affordable. People want to know that they're getting high quality and affordable. I don't put the price in there because I want them to click through and find out what the price is if they're curious and let the page convert them. And then the text down there says, and I basically got to type this out, so forgive me here. These new Haribos are made of 100%. I think it said cross grain, is that what it said? Gross grain, I don't know what that means, but women do, I guess. Type of material, and mounted on alligator clips. And mounted on alligator clips. These Haribos measure 6 inches in width. Which is the information that has converted before, so I'm not going to change it. And then I'm going to go grab a new testimonial that actually is on her page. She's got a bunch of reviews. And so I'm going to grab this one. And her name is, she doesn't really have a good name, Drew's Ma. Okay, I'm going to use a different one because I want to be able to use somebody's actual name like Liz. Here we go. Let's use this one. It might be a little long, so I might have to edit this testimonial. News, just the news feed, the subscription. Just want to take a look at something real quick. I'm putting these in the wrong place. I'm going to switch these up. This text is going to go in the newsfeed description, and the testimonial is going to be above it. There we go. So now this is in the right place. Let me go grab that testimonial again. Okay, so now you can see here it says, I've purchased, this Haribos, but the problem with this is that it's not, it's going to be too long, right? So I'm going to, it's going to be a little too long because Facebook tends to cut out some of the text, but it looks like it's fitting in there well. If I click on mobile, I'm seeing it all as well. So I'm going to do, her name was Liz. So we'll put quotations around so people know it's not us saying it, it's Liz. And Liz might even have her last name on there, which is Brandon. So I'm going to put B. Be better if I can put where she's from. That helps conversion as well, but I don't know where she's from. But okay, so the company, this way it looks real because it's true. I'm just going to edit her writing in case she's written something that makes her look dumb. The service, I'm just going to put the service. I'm going to edit her testimony a little bit. She won't care. She won't even know. It's excellent, and you will receive your order within the week it is ordered. So the customer is saying it best in this case. If you can get customer testimonials to use in your ad copy, great. Otherwise, you might use something different that's enticing. And that's why, becoming an expert in social media and copywriting and all these things is something you want to aspire to. Okay, so now we've got the headline, which is targeting, high quality, affordable, and also explaining what the product is. We've got the text, and then we've got the news feed description, because when people see us on a news feed and they scroll down and see it, it'll have a little bit more. Now, I also can say, click, display link. No, that's fine. We'll leave the same display link. Store.girlyboutique. I am going to change the learn more to buy now. And I encourage you to test this as well, because people will say, well, what's the best button to do? Shop now, buy now. In our case, she's trying to get people to shop this product, so we're going to use shop. But if you're selling for a B2B business, you're going to see that maybe download works the best. Or sign up if you're launching an ebook for somebody. All the principles are still the same for running the ad. Okay, it doesn't matter what kind of business you can do. And if we can do it for a hair bow business, we can do it for anyone. So now I'm going to click place the order. I can review it, but I've done this enough times I don't need to review it. You might want to review it before placing. Once I hit place, Facebook places the order, and basically it has to go into an approval process. That is typically instantaneous and within minutes. Sometimes it's much longer if you use too much text in an ad. Facebook might double check, or if they think that you're posting anything that would be illegal. If you notice in the ad that we did, we just did the image. Facebook loves ads that are about the image and not about the text on the image. So, and Facebook will give you requirements to be able to meet. So, for example, let me pull up an example of a post. Let's just post up this real quick. So here's an example of a Facebook post that we recently did. And I did this because I wanted to show this example. So you see this has a lot of text on the image, and Facebook is going to evaluate that. So I'm going to open up another window, and you see where it says text overlay tool? I have this link, and I encourage you to take this link, facebook.com/ads/tools/text overlay. And I encourage you to bookmark this page as well, because before you run any ad for any client, you always want to make sure you're checking for how much text it has. So I'm going to open this up a little bit, and I'm going to click upload, and I'm going to go find that picture, which is right here, and I'm going to upload it. So it checks the image and tells me what I want it to tell me, which is green light, your ad will run normally. If it sensed there was too much text, it might say your ad reach may be slightly lower if it was considered low. Now, the rule of thumb is that it has to be less than 20% of the image has to be text, or it can be text. Facebook used to be strict on that rule, where if it was 20%, they wouldn't even run the ad. Now, they'll let you run the ad, but they're going to charge you more to get the reach that you want. So you want to optimize your ad dollars, don't put a lot of text in your ad, not in the image, which means you have to be creative and you have to have great images. Okay, so little tool there for you, and it's free to use from Facebook. Okay, so now you can see we've placed the ad. It's already active and approved because we've ran enough ads where it approves it instantaneously. Facebook almost does that for every business, even new ones that you start up. And it's got a $20 budget, and now we'll be able to check the metrics. So there you have it. That's how you post a Facebook ad. And in the next section, in the next video, I'm going to show you how to use, I'm going to give you different examples of how to use Facebook to build massive exposure for your clients, and how to get an email list built by using giveaways and contests, which is the fastest way to get immediate results with local business clients. And you're going to do these type of giveaways and contests for your clients on a monthly basis, which will keep them addicted to your services on a monthly basis. And that's going to be in the next section.